Hello you beautiful drop bears, and welcome back to another episode of Graveyard Keeper. As promised in the last video, which would have only come out yesterday, I promised to go over every type of fish, where to catch them, what rods to use, what time of day, what bait, because those are the main things which determine your chance of catching a fish. Now, not all of these are actually fish, because there are frogs and eels as well, but they are also part of the fishing segment in this, which you do also need for some quests. With that being said, let's get right into it. First off, we have the frog. It can be caught at the swamp and the village with a simple rod at any time using the moth or a butterfly. 100% chance with the moth, 100% chance with the butterfly. This is the same with the tilapia, is also at the swamp and the village. Simple, anytime, butterfly, moth, or even a maggot. All three of those, 100% chance of catching. The next one, which is found at the village and the waterfall, which you can get with a 100% chance of catching, is the perch, as you can see over here. This can be caught with anchovies, gudgeon, moths, maggots, and butterflies, with anything from a simple onwards. The next one I'm going to show you from the village is the gudgeon. This is also one of the many baits. This can be caught with a simple rod and no bait. It's 100% chance of being caught in the first or the last area, and only 80% chance in the middle. The last one I'm going to show you from the village pond is the silver crucian. For that, we're going to need to switch our rod from the simple to a good. So, the silver crucian can only be caught at night. So I will show you again a bit later, but you need the good rod and a steel lure, and that, as you can see, at daytime is 0%. Okay, so we are back at the village pond at nighttime. I have got my good fishing rod equipped, and as you can see, with a steel lure, that is immediately a 100% chance to catch a silver crucian in that area. Silver crucians do drop silver nuggets. So, here's the silver crucian in the cooking table. Let's craft that up, cut it up, and you'll see you get a silver nugget. Okay, so now we're at the next section. We're at the sea, where there's quite a few fish that can only be caught here. Now I'm going to show you just which fish they are. So first off, anchovies can be caught with a simple rod and no bait. There's also only at daytime, the eels can be caught with maggots. So here we are, a simple rod, no bait, and as you can see, the anchovies have a 100% chance in the furthest or the middle area. 67% chance at this area closest to us, on the left hand side, as it competes with the eels. Okay, so that's the only fish you can catch with a simple rod at the sea. So for anything else, we're going to have to switch over from the simple rod to a good rod. Now you can see that instantly switching over, we've got a few which are all the way up at 100%. But we'll go through in order, and we'll go to the tuna. Tuna can be caught with either of the two lures, the lure with the gem or the steel lure. Both have a 100% chance at daytime of catching tuna. This is with a good rod, and the daytime has a better chance of catching it. because at night time, with an excellent rod, you are competing with the goldfish. Now that we've done tuna, let's go on to the sardines. Sardines can be caught with a good rod, with either of the lures. That one there is the sardine, that's the anchovy. Anchovy, anchovy, sardine. So as you can see, it's a 100% chance with either of the lures. Also with anchovies, gudgeon, or maggots. Next up is salmon. Salmon can be caught at the sea or also at the waterfall. With a good rod, either lure, a maggot has a guarantee. So if you're fishing with maggots, it has a guarantee of getting a silver star or better. And if you're fishing with an anchovy, it's a guarantee of getting a gold or better. But with anchovies, as you can see, the rate goes all the way down to 25%. With maggots, 100% chance. Next up, I'm going to show you the goldfish, the rarest and hardest fish to catch. For that, we need to switch over from our good fishing rod to our excellent one. This can only be caught with the lure with a gem. And look at daytime, how low of a chance that is, 2%. And at nighttime, it's not much better. That only increases to a maximum of 5%. So if you're fishing for tuna, I would suggest going at nighttime and fishing with an excellent rod with a lure with a gem, because then you have a chance of getting the goldfish, getting that achievement, and a guarantee of getting a hell of a lot of tuna. So that's all for the sea. I will come back again and I will show you the 5% chance for the goldfish. Alrighty, it is now nighttime. We are back with the excellent fishing rod, and as you can see with the lure with the gem, that 2% chance on the goldfish has now increased to a 5% chance, and that is the best chance you are going to get. I'll cycle through all of the bait and you'll see that is the only thing you can catch the goldfish with is an excellent rod and a lure with a gem, and that's only a 5% chance. So happy hunting. Okay, next up we have the river. So this is north of our house and a little west from the refugee camp. So this little bridge here that goes over the quarry, you want this little dock here, and this is where you fish. Fishing here, I'm going to switch back over to my simple fishing rod to show you the chances of the worst rod, because it does get better. So we'll start with bream. Bream can be caught with a steel lure, a maggot, or no bait at all, and it has a 100% chance of being caught both here or at the waterfall at any time of day. So as you can see, 100% and 100%. Next up, I'm going to show you the sturgeon. For this, I have switched over to my good fishing rod, and I'm going to be using either a moth or a butterfly at the river. You can also use anchovies or gudgeons at the waterfall to give you a 100% chance. So as you can see, there's the sturgeon in that section there. 100% chance. That chance does not change if you switch up to an excellent rod. The next one I'm going to show you, still with a good rod, is the pike. So that is this fish here and this fish here. For this, you're going to want either a maggot or a lure with a gem. A lure with a gem gives you a 100% chance to catch it in this area, although I would suggest using an anchovy to get the 96% chance, with a chance, a very small chance, a 4% chance of catching a gold crucian, which drops gold nuggets when you skin it. So that is either with anchovies or gudgeons. And I would also suggest switching over to your excellent fishing rod for that, as that increases the chance to a 16% chance for the gold crucians, because you're still going to get quite a few pike. The next on our list is actually the gold crucian itself. This can only be caught at day, and it is only with the anchovies or the gudgeons, and it is only found at the river. So the maximum percentage for it is a 16% chance. As I said, I'd suggest farming for pike with anchovies or gudgeons on an excellent rod to have a chance of getting some gold as well. So that's it for the river. Let's go down to the waterfall. Okay, we are now at the waterfall. So this is west of the house, across the stone bridge, and straight up you can see the waterfall here, and this nice little fishing area. Switch back to the simple fishing rod, and I'll show you just what you can catch. So as you can see, with a simple fishing rod at the waterfall, with a steel lure or a maggot, you can catch bream with a 100% chance. As you can also see, you can catch perch with a 100% chance at the waterfall, with anchovies, gudgeons, moths, maggots, or butterflies. And with a no bait with a simple rod, this is also an area which you can find gudgeon, which is at the waterfall. A 100% chance in this middle area. Now let's switch over to our good fishing rod, and we'll show you what we can catch at the waterfall here. So with a good fishing rod, with a moth, a butterfly, an anchovy or gudgeon, you can catch a sturgeon with a 100% chance. And as I was saying while I was at the sea, you can catch salmon with a 100% chance here as well, so at the waterfall, with a lure with a gem or a steel lure. Now let's switch to our excellent fishing rod. As you can see immediately, with a maggot on an excellent fishing rod, you have a 100% chance to catch a perch as well. Same as with a butterfly or with no bait at all. So with an excellent fishing rod, at the waterfall only, you can catch carp with a lure with a gem, a moth, a butterfly, or with nothing. So as you can see over here, 100% chance, 100% chance, also with a maggot it seems. 100% chance, and a 100% chance. I believe that is it for the waterfall, so now let's go to the swamp. Okay, so we are now at the swamp. The fishing location here you would have seen first time when you're coming across to build this bridge. So, to get to the swamp's fishing location, you come down and you start this little maze. And as you're coming up here, it's this little dock here. We'll switch over to our simple fishing rod and start fishing. As you can see immediately, we have a 100% chance of catching a frog or a tilapia with a butterfly or a moth. Also a 100% chance to catch an eel using maggots or by using no bait at all. I hope this video has been helpful and you've enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a like and leave a comment on what you think is your favorite fish. What fish is your favorite? I personally enjoy catching the goldfish, the challenge of it, but it also annoys the crap out of me how many tuna you get instead of the goldfish. And if you find yourself coming back to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing and you can always unsubscribe. Thanks, and I'll catch you in the next video. you can catch some bream with a 100% chance with a maggot, no bait, or a steel lure. So as you can see, with a simple fishing rod at the waterfall, with a steel lure or a maggot, you can catch bream with a 100% chance. Also a 100% chance to catch a maggot. Also a 100% chance to catch an eel using maggots.